90% of New Year's resolutions fail,
And this year, my only goal is to not be a part of the vast majority of Americans who have a New Year's resolution for 1 week and then quit literally the next week of January. This year, I want to actually make a difference and do something I've never done and actually complete a New Year's resolution. The way I'm going to be doing this is by tracking my progress month to month. I find that being able to physically see improvement from, say, January to February is much better than just going off of a blind every single day I'm going to do this, this, and this. I find it's much better to have realistic, trackable goals, which is why I'm measuring them through Google Sheets. The 3 major goals I want to focus on this year is 1, really focusing on my sleep. I'm not very good at consistently sleeping. My sleep habits are pretty horrible. 2nd, I want to actually get consistent with the gym. I've always been on and off, and I think this would be a great year to really start getting in. I'm turning 20 this year. It's a pretty big milestone. I want to actually have good health when I get married and have kids one day. And then finally, I'm tracking my spending because it's just not good to spend all your money immediately. For the month of January specifically, I don't have any set in stone goals. I really just want to track and figure out what my habits are so I can really focus and fix those for the upcoming months. And the first one I want to start off with is the gym. Just finished the first workout of the year. Just hit shoulder and bicep. Unfortunately, it was a bit of a shorter day starting off the year. It was really packed, probably because everyone's starting their resolutions, but probably by next week it'll go back down because no one seems to stick with them. I'm hoping this could be a pretty consistent year. Starting off day 2, January 2nd, going pretty strong. About to make my first purchase of the year as well because I need another deodorant stick. Hoping that I can stay consistent. This month was actually a pretty consistent gym month for me compared to most. The past few months, I've really only been going like once or twice a week, and I'm just not very consistent. But this month, I actually went 16 times, which part of it may just be because I was on break, but I guess we'll see in these upcoming months. The actual splits I hit chest and tri 5 times this month. I hit back and bi 3 times. I hit shoulders 3 times. And I hit legs 4 times this month. And I hit cardio and abs a whopping big fat goose egg. I did not do a single ab or cardio workout the entire month, so I should probably end up fixing that. As for actual consistency, it felt pretty easy this first month to really stay consistent. It was only once I started school, which was around January 12th-ish, to really stay consistent, which was when it definitely does drop off a little bit. However, I definitely think this is something I want to keep through the next months. It's definitely going to be a little tricky staying intentional with school. It's definitely already noticed it's a lot harder to find time to go to the gym, but I know it's definitely, I see people that have kids at the gym, so if they have kids and families and they're still working out, I can definitely manage to fit that in my college schedule. Another thing I tracked with the gym was all of my lifts, what I'm doing for every rep. I pretty much picked something at the beginning of January that was pretty tricky, and I just spent the whole January trying to make it consistent and easy. And here is all of my sets that I do. I couldn't really tell you what a good realistic gaining percentage of the gym. I really have no knowledge on the gym whatsoever. I just kind of push the weights, and I notice my muscles get slightly bigger as time goes by. My weakness this month at the gym is most definitely abs and cardio. That is definitely something I want to work on. This month of February, I would like to do a 5-minute plank every day. That's the goal. It's a little ambitious, but I think I can do it, or not necessarily a 5-minute plank, but 5 minutes worth of plank time. I came up with this number by randomly spinning a wheel, and 5 seemed reasonable. So we're going to see if I notice any improvement from the beginning of February to the end of February from doing abs every day. The next thing I want to talk about is my sleep schedule in January. Now, with January, there was a couple ups and downs with sleep. Realistically, what I want my sleep schedule to look like is pretty much like a straight, solid graph, right? Like straight, solid 8 hours every night. Put a little photo up on screen. This is what the ideal month of January would look like, and I did not exactly reach my goals.
Oh my god, bro.
Oh, hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't think it could be any worse than this, bro. There is no possible way my sleep schedule can hit a lower rock bottom than this. This is, it looks like a paintball fest. It looks like someone was playing Splatoon and all the teams freaking tied, bro. There's random numbers over here. Some days are over here. I don't know what I did. About to go to the gym, and the problem is it's 1:30 in the morning right now. Well, I was making those choices. So that's definitely something I need to really fix in February. Procrastination. With college, I tend to wait a little bit for the last assignment, right? Like this last Friday, I started homework at, I think it was 8 p.m. or something. It was due at midnight, which that's actually pretty good for me, I'm going to be honest, starting at 8. And the other issue is some of my teachers give very odd deadlines. Like sometimes I got stuff due at 3 in the morning, which now if you get it to a realistic person, they'll be like, oh, let's do it 3 in the morning. I'm gonna just do it the previous day, but not me. I started at like 1, and now I gotta stay up until 3, and I'd be slamming energy drinks, and by that point, I'm mad awake, so I just hit the gym after, and I end up going to bed at 4:30 consistently for a few nights, which is probably the biggest issue. Another thing I will say is on the stretches of yellow sleep or even like the orange and red sleep, I definitely noticed there are the days that I felt physically more tired. And those stretches often I tend to go to the gym less too. While there are some huge inconsistencies in the sleep schedule, there are one specific time that I am going to give the pass to, and that's the January 4th to 6th incident. You see, me and my friends, we were hanging out, normal Friday night playing poker. Instead of gambling for money, we were like, let's just do the loser has to do a 1,000-piece puzzle. It's cheaper, it doesn't cost anything. So anyways, we're playing poker. I lose, right? Round 1, I'm doing a 1,000-piece puzzle. We run it back one more time. My other friend loses. He's also doing a 1,000-piece puzzle. I figured, why not up the stakes a little bit? I came to the brilliant idea. I'm going to hit you with a little bit of editor foreshadowing and say that every time the phrase brilliant idea comes up is not about to be followed by a brilliant idea, in case you could not pick up on the incredibly obvious foreshadowing that all my ideas are complete buns. Whoever completes the 1,000-piece puzzle first, the loser buys them free food, right? And now you got to think about it from my perspective. I'm tracking my spending. I can't just buy myself a meal, otherwise I got to feel the shame of looking at this purchase all month long. If I can get him to buy me food, I'm up. Oh my gosh, I am 3 hours into this puzzle, and I've barely done the border. I'm never gonna finish. His 2-hour progress is unfortunately what I did in freaking 5. So I knew the only way of ruining this was gonna be completely wreck my sleep schedule, because I knew there was no way this bozo was about to do a puzzle all night long. You see, day 1, I only was able to put in about 5 hours until it was 4 in the morning. To which I decided I'm gonna take some sleep, recharge. The next day, cleared my whole schedule. I've already got a multiple hour lead on him. I've already got way more progress than him. There was no way this dude was about to do the puzzle all of tomorrow. Day 2, I got a little bit of progress already done. My goal, finish all the birds, finish all the cereal boxes, and the puzzle, I guess. You see, I was grinding hard all the way up until 10 p.m. that night. At this point, I had literally been working on the puzzle for 14 hours. But I had such a lead at this point. Here was where I was at. I was pretty much flying. There was just no physical possible way this guy was catching up. I went to bed probably 11 p.m. that night until I saw a message nobody wants to see. This kid decided to lock in the puzzle and somehow did in 4 hours what it took me in almost 10. At this point, I was completely killed. My spirit was at an all-time low. Despite it being 11 p.m., I knew I had to kill my sleep schedule and finish this puzzle that night. There was no possible way I could let this happen. When I tell you the next 3 hours, I was in complete panic mode. There was no thought of sleeping at all. I simply was trying to finish this puzzle. I could not take a $20 hit when tracking my food only 6 days into the month. With it coming down to the wire at 3:30 in the morning, I finally prevailed and I won myself a free meal. Now you may be asking, was it worth putting in like 14 to 16 hours on a puzzle to get probably a $10 meal? Probably not, but you know, I did it anyway, so free food. At this point, I think it'd be a good time to segue into the spending category, which is probably the most important and the most fluctuatable category that there is. With the spending category, we got to lay down some ground rules. This is pretty much following off of Girl Math logic, but take Girl Math and push it even further and make it borderline not even realistic. First things first, any cash I spend does not get documented. It only gets documented if I use the legendary debit card. But if I withdraw money from my card, then it counts. If someone gives me like a $10 bill up on the wall, then I can use that and I can get whatever, and I'm not tracking that, right? I'm buying myself food, I'm buying myself a drink. It is not getting dragged to spending. If someone gives me a gift card for my birthday, which did happen, that does not count as spending. That is free money. That does not exist. Finally, all gambling winnings will not be getting tracked. I don't really gamble at all. I think I gambled once this month. I played poker with some friends just to get to meet them, and I ended up robbing them. I walked away with $70, completely stole all their money, and I did not feel bad about it. With this being a New Year's resolution, I don't necessarily have any set amount I want to spend. I just think that writing down what you spend and looking at it is a great way to realize, hey, I'm spending all my money on McDonald's chicken nuggets and I need to cut down on McDonald's chicken nuggets. Within monthly spendings, it once again breaks down into 5 different categories. We have food, we have drinks, which since these are the 2 primary things I buy, I figured I'd split them. We have hobbies, which is pretty much my vinyls I spend too much money on. We got the CDs, which I also spend too much money on. We also have random, which is any random thing I might need. Say I buy a freaking skeleton for my door, then I guess that would go in the random. We also have the actual needs category. These are things that are actually kind of important, like deodorant, making sure I don't smell 24/7, shampoo, I'm not trying to live a Discord moderator lifestyle. And then finally, we got gas, which is unfortunately an unavoidable nerf and where most of my money goes. First purchase of the year, in my opinion, is definitely a necessity. We got the deodorant stick. I get the mini, right? Keep it in the center console of your car. You got a safety quip. You ever go somewhere you forget to put deodorant on? Bam, instant safety quip. Of course, I had to get my actual deodorant. I got I don't even know what it is. The logo looked cool, so I figured it's got to be good. It has this little sea monster on it, and I liked the sea monster, so I figured, why not just go with this one? So that was the thought process there. There really wasn't any other thought process or thoughts in mind at all. This was pretty much the only purchase I made all the way up until January 15th that wasn't food or drinks. And besides that, the only thing I bought was just earbuds because I lost my earbuds, which I ended up finding the following day after buying them, I will tell you. Now, why did I jump the gun on this? Because my earbuds have been lost for a freaking month at this point. It was a completely rational purchase, and I cannot believe that my earbuds ended up turning up. They literally just appeared in my room. I walked in, and they were just there. I am convinced somebody hid them from me and waited for me to buy earbuds. There was just no physical possible way that I completely missed them sitting on my nightstand. There was just no way. Someone definitely did it intentionally. So the earbuds was a random but necessary cost because you cannot go through life without earbuds. It's just non-negotiable. The food purchases in the beginning of the month are literally just me going to Taco Bell. It is the only place that I go to eat. I do not go anywhere else at all. Even on the occasional date, I maybe go to Chinese. Besides that, it's literally only Chinese and Taco Bell. For instance, this month in food, I spent about $60 flat, which is a lot more than I expected. But in reality, that's probably one of the lower numbers I'm going to see this year. Hopefully it's not. Hopefully it's the highest. But realistically, it's probably not going to be because I just spent so much on food that I just didn't realize I did. My drink total was $20. This I also expect to go up a decent bit in February just because with January being the month I'm born in, it's my birthday, everyone was buying me sodas and drinks. And Izzy's and my sparkling ices and my energy drinks are really probably the biggest thing I like. Like, it's my favorite thing I have. I don't know if I'm ready to go without them for so long. Maybe down the line I'll try getting rid of them for a month. We'll see. Maybe I'll make that like March or April or something's challenge. My total spending on my hobbies and random items was $55. Finally, random necessities was $23 this month, which is pretty low. And it'll probably continue to stay low just because I'm very blessed to still live at home. And my parents let me live here for college, which is really nice. It allows me to save a lot of money on random things. Of course, I gotta buy the occasional deodorant stick, or I had to buy some special purple shampoo because I dyed my hair this month. But that was pretty much it. And this brings us to the total for gas. $177. And that is probably going to be the lowest number I see the whole year because I literally went almost a week without driving my car. I had no need to bring it anywhere because we had a giant ice blizzard and I literally could not get out of my driveway. This brings me to the final total for the month. I spent $158, not including gas, which for me is pretty good. I don't know if I'll be able to stay that consistent throughout the year. I'm hoping I can learn to stay in budget better and better every month. My goal is to find weak spots and learn how to budget those better. This month of January was really just a tracking month. February will probably also be the same, just because this month's my birthday, I didn't really need to buy anything. Finally, my thought recap for January is that this was a pretty decent starting point. It was really cool seeing all the areas that I thrived in to do the best in. I think things are definitely going to get more consistent and more pattern-based come February because I'm in school the whole month and there's there's really no inconsistencies. With January, I had a whole weeks off of school that I could really do whatever, so my money intake was different, my spending was different. I think February will really be a great baseline, and I'm also going to set myself some challenges for February. First things first, with February, I would like to be doing at least 5 minutes worth of planks every day. This isn't really abs, but it kind of is. It's better than nothing, and I just want to get myself doing abs more. I'm not setting any specific goal for February sleep because of how bad January was. I don't really think there's any way I could get remotely as terrible as I was in January, and that's pretty much all my goals. I hope you enjoyed watching my January recap. Hopefully there's a February recap. Hopefully I'm still sticking with this, and that's pretty much all for today's video. Farewell.